MZTV.
Hey ladies and gentlemen, if I look tired, I am. If I look like I'm in a different location, I am. I'm in Madison, Florida. It's up in the Panhandle near Tallahassee. I'm trying to figure out where the camera is. Here, I have a surprise guest. I'm not going to show you who it is, but I think there's a camera here. Surprise guest. Okay, thank you, surprise guest. I've been traveling all day, 6 hours on the road, and what? That's the camera. Oh, I thought you pointed. Okay, thank you, surprise guest. Now I know where the camera is. Before I say hi to our surprise guest, I'm going to have a more extensive interview with this individual, probably on Monday's show. But since I've been traveling all day, I'm going to tell you why in a second. I was not able to look at the comments from yesterday's video. But I have to tell you, I'm here at a Super 8 hotel, by the way. I have to tell you that I cried. I read what you wrote about the children's book, and you broke me. I was just so thankful that you liked it, and you have assured me that we're going to need more than 100 books, which is great. You told me the people in your family you wanted. You mentioned your grandkids. You mentioned your kids. You even mentioned your wife. You want to read it to your wife. And I love that. I think this book is for adults too. But I just wept with happiness. That sounds like such a cliche. And he wept with happiness. But I did. I wept with happiness. Unfeigned Thanksgiving for you. And I am thankful for every one of you for supporting me and the show and watching it for all these years. And everybody who contributes in any way, I know who you are. And I know I'm terrible at corresponding sometimes because I'm just emotionally tapped out many times. And it's hard to explain it. But you probably know. You're probably the same way. I don't know. It's just, it's sometimes just overwhelms me. But when I just want you to know that everybody who commented on that video from yesterday of me reading the children's book that I wrote, I read everything, and I thank you for putting yourself out there and posting. I always read everything. I don't always respond. I try to respond. I'm going to get back and respond to every one of those. That's my plan, to every one of your comments. And so I wouldn't be doing this without you. And that sounds like a cliche too, but it's not. It's the truth. And so I am convinced, as I said, that more than 100 books need printed. In fact, if we promoted this, I mean, when you read the thing, as I was reading it, it didn't sound that radical to me. I mean, it's not like me in my regular way, slamming Christianity and Christians are this, Christians are that, and giving all these minute details about the salvation of all. This is almost a thing where people will read it and read their own thing into it. I mean, that might be bad. They might be reading the words and it might be too subtle. They won't see the truth in it, but maybe they will. The more I'm talking about this, I think we have a bigger audience than we thought. And you're responsible for making me think that way from those comments. So thank you very much. I am here in, where am I? Madison. Wisconsin? Florida. Madison, Florida.
We're still in Florida. Yeah.
Okay, it was a 6-hour drive, and I'm with Darren Howarth, and he's here. He's from California. Before I show this guy, he flew from California to Fort Lauderdale 2 days ago. And this was our plan, and we're in this town because we are here to visit our friend and fellow believer, James Flanders, who has been in prison for 7 years. And he's a dear brother. He's a true believer, honest to God. He just had a bad day. So, a while ago. But anyway, I've talked about that. You've heard me. I made a show about him. And we love him. And nobody's perfect. And so, I always feel guilty about these things. I think I told you this not long ago. I felt guilty that I'm in Florida, even though it's a 6-hour drive. It's a long state. Very, very tall state. I haven't seen him. He hasn't had a visitor for 2 years. And I'm racked with guilt. So I said, I gotta get. But this guy, Darren Howarth, and here he is from California. He drove all the way here. He's the one that really pushed me because you heard that show.
I did.
He heard the show when I'm down on myself, thinking, why haven't I visited James Flanders yet? Because I say I'm emotionally tapped out. And he says, you know, Zender, I felt bad too when I heard you say that. I said, but you're in California. I'm in Florida. You have a better excuse, you know? And he goes, if I fly, I'm going to fly there to visit you. I've always wanted to come visit you. I'm going to visit you because I've met this guy before at a conference in Sacramento. He says, I'm going to come down there. We'll both go together to see James. I said, James is going to love that. And we did it today. We visited him for 3 hours. And he was so happy to see us. And we're going to go back tomorrow. We were there. We left at 6:15 this morning, and we got, there you are. I keep looking at the light, not at you. But and we got here at like 1:15.
Yeah.
So it's 7 hours. We took a few breaks.
You had a bad navigator. We
overshot. We overshot the.
Don't tell Robin.
Yeah, I don't know who did it, but we did overshoot the exit. But anyway, we were traveling the Zender way, and when you travel the Zender way, it means you stop every 5 minutes.
Which worked for me.
Yeah, we could get out of the car and, take a little break and everything. And you have to go to the bathroom once in a while. So
nicotine fix for me.
Yeah, nicotine. Well, I had a couple of cigarettes. I was getting nervous. The closer we got here, I was getting nervous.
I could tell.
I'm nervous because I've never been inside a prison. Not real crazy about it. I had this paranoia that I'm going to get in and they're not going to let me out. It was stupid paranoia, but I got over it today. So they did let us out. That's why we're here. I'm surprised they let him out.
Hopefully they'll let us out tomorrow.
Both of
us.
If you don't get a show on Monday, it means they're holding us for questioning, whatever. But we're going back to see James in the morning for the half day from 9 to noon, and then we're going to head back to Fort Lauderdale. But I love hanging out with this guy. This guy's a great traveling companion, a great brother. I met him in 2011. Is this weird? You and me and James Flanders, we met on the same day.
Yeah.
At the first conference in Sacramento. There were 3 conferences in Sacramento, right? 2011,
2010 and 2011, I think.
2010. Really? I think there was 3. There was 3.
Okay.
Because there was the one at American River College, and then
the Holiday Inn,
and then there was a third one. I think I might be wrong. Who knows? Who cares? I don't know. But I met this guy and James Flanders at the same time. And then, of course, I taught with James Flanders in Rochester, New York, with Clyde and Dan. And those were the days. But anyway.
Well, I've been a huge fan of yours since I first got a copy of your Flawed by Design back in, I think
that's the book.
2008.
Yeah.
And then devoured everything you wrote. And this guy gets it.
Yeah.
And I learned so much.
I appreciate that.
Yeah.
Good. I appreciate that. I want to interview him because we want his story, don't you? I want it. I want Darren's story, so we're going to get it. He's going to spend one more day with me when we get home. We get all day Saturday together, and then I'm going to interview him. He's going to tell us his story. I'm going to make him say more complimentary things about me, like elaborate a little bit of how great I am, But you made me feel so good today when I read your comments. I can't tell you. I just felt like, thank God that he inspired this book.
I think you talk about need more than 100 copies. I said, when I heard you record it this morning, I'm like, you're going to need more than 100 copies. And I can see a whole series of kids' books on this.
Ooh, that's an idea. This guy was sitting across from the table when I made the show yesterday. Nobody knew it. I didn't point him on or anything, but he was sitting like right across the table. And I said, I don't mind you staring at me, but I'm making a video. The only thing that shakes me up is if a few times there have been people watching me make the videos, And they said, well, what should we do? Do you feel if we just stare at you? They're sitting on the sofa. It would stare. No, I don't mind you staring at me. Just one thing, just don't suddenly look down and start doing your phone. Please, that throws me off. You can stare at me. You can just burn me with your eyeballs. But just please don't sit there and look at your phone like, I wonder what the temperature is in Phoenix or whatever, I wonder how my stock is doing, What's the price of Bitcoin? Anyway, but this guy was great. So we're going to talk to him. But yes, you have encouraged me. And Darren said the same thing. We're going to need more than 100 books. You're going to need a bigger boat, Zender. We're going to need a bigger boat. Yeah. So thanks for your comments because you're changing the way I'm thinking. I'm thinking bigger now. I'm thinking we can have a bigger market for this than we thought. It is for adults. You said that too. You said, I think adults should be entertained by this. And Javier said the same thing to me, the illustrative illustrator. Said, you know what, I think we're going to need, I think that this will appeal to adults too. So Zender, your age group might be from 4 to 94 because people are entertained by it. So anyway, I got to make this video short because I think our internet sucks here. I might have to go to McDonald's in the morning to upload this to YouTube. If this is late, that's why. It's not because I'm eating a McMuffin. It's not because I'm getting a second hash browns, because the internet is slow. But I'll do what I can. God bless you. Good night, everybody, and have a good weekend. And we're going to talk to Darren. I'm interviewing him Saturday. You'll see that on Monday. Yeah. Goodbye for now.